and welcome back. Greetings from my heart to yours. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Joanna Pilatowicz, and I'm touching on paranormal, supernatural subjects, not only from my books, but from all my observations. And today I will tell you a little bit about accompanying a soul that just passed, or a different forms of life on Earth or extraterrestrial entities, to accompany them to go further in whatever journey they are about to take. So about transferring from the body into another dimension. So as you see, this is another paranormal topic. Some of you will laugh. Some of you who have those sort of experiences won't laugh anymore, because you know what I will talk about. You will probably relate to that. But those of you who laugh, keep laughing. It's okay. The laughter is very good. And one day it will be so that you are no longer, well, laugh at it. But it's okay. We all have this process. I was laughing too. So it's fine. Just a warning at the very, very beginning. There is a lot of service all over the world, a spiritual, esoteric service. I will help you to walk the soul. I have no idea how this service is called in English language. I probably should have Googled it a little bit more, but it's to help the soul to transfer to the other side, or channel the spirits and so on. And people are curious, people don't feel it, so they pay lots of money, and sometimes or often they are tricked. I would suggest, before you go and pay for such a service, to talk to someone who is conscious, who you know, who feels, and pay attention to your own feelings and dreams. And if extraordinary happens to you, pay attention to that and observe it, and then compare it. So start from the point, if I may suggest something, actually, to believe in yourself more before you believe somebody else, and be your own expert in it. And here is a little bit instructions, because there is a certain fashion, I'm afraid, to walk the soul from this plane, to ward off negative spirits, to I don't know what, and to whom. And before you are going to do that, before you are going to pray to release the spirit, or whatever is your idea about it, please take a moment to rethink if whatever happens needs to be walked away from your life. Because if we are talking about ghosts that freshly passed to another dimension, they usually take a time to decide what they want to do. And they also are present in our life and close ones to finish some of the business they didn't manage to finish, or they are just protecting, staying to protect others, or they have certain task or something they took on upon themselves to do still on the plane Earth, or close to us. So before you ward off anything, perhaps, that is just my opinion, is wise to treat them as alive beings and as just friends on the other side. So you don't talk to a friend, just walk away, go away. You usually asking, hey, what's up? What's going on? Why are you here? You visited me. So what's going on? So you try to talk. And I know these conversations are peculiar because they are happening in the dreams, or they are on the subtle level of a vision. So it's a new language for some of you that you need to learn, you need to master. And I think we are in the times when we are mastering non-verbal communication on another level right now, so on a telepathic level. And before I will go into examples and instructions, when indeed such a accompanying the soul is necessary, I will just hopefully underline that one more, that the most important thing is to find out if it's even necessary to do that. because some people who are laughing about it, they just call the ghost, and they may interfere with the peace of someone that is somewhere there but was called back and cannot continue, or the sort of, you know, energetical portal. Sorry for that idea. I know I'm going really esoteric right now, but stay with me if you are interested in those ghosts, how to deal with those extraordinary experiences. So these who need to be guided through, who need our assistance of the living right now here, are those who basically died in a drastic accident, car, plane crashed, and so on, or historically, especially after wars, after any events when there was a group of people who died, and on a certain, you know, there is a cemetery, the graveyard, there are groups of those souls who never get a proper ritual. And I don't care what kind of religion they had. Could be any religion. If someone was a Catholic and there is only, you know, people from Tibet, it's going to work, because it's about energy, that you are offering attention, energy, and intention to the soul to go wherever it needs to go. And so that is the most thing in the instructions, to find out, to talk to them like to a friend, and to find out what is the best, what they want to do before you do anything. And I have the third rule that I'm applying, or I'm doing my best to apply, and I'm still learning, to interfere as little as possible and treat the soul, another one, as an expert of what needs to be done. And if they are coming to us, they are coming to because they trust us, because we can see us, because there is a certain thing in us that they see we can communicate with them. So this is more about conversation on this nonverbal level, telepathic level, and see if you can assist them in understanding and concluding what their next step would be. So you are sort of a therapist or a coach in this case. Peculiar one, but still it's going to work this way. And they know the best what is necessary, and they will probably tell you. And if they don't know, by asking them the proper questions, you may actually inspire them to find out for themselves. Some of them they cannot let go, because they still need to do something here, and this is their thing to do it. And some of them, they need a physical assistance in form of a prayer. That means energy again. It doesn't have to be any specific prayer. It is more about giving attention, energy, proper wording to a soul. Like, for example, you may say it is forgiven to you, whether it's not or it is or not. But if you are playing a certain role, that this soul is seeking for forgiveness or seeking for acknowledgement, you may give that, you may offer that by simply saying, I acknowledge you, I see you, you are visible to me. And then the soul probably will be easiness to go where it wants to go, if that is the case, because every case is different. So it's a sort of like a coaching and therapy with just another being, treated as another race, another country, another way of communicating, and treat those beings not with the fear but with friendliness, that they visit you. It's like some stranger comes to your house and asks for a little bit of advice or help, sort of these sort of things. When it happens, and this is why I don't like to travel to some of the houses that I don't know, the old houses, because I have this peculiarity that just by spending a one night there, I already know and what's going on there. If something's going on, I won't sleep well, because yeah, I will tell you what's happening. So I give you an example here, and I of course put that in my oracle series, so you have there shown more. I hope I did my best With my English, I did my best to show more, not give a strict instructions what to do, what not to do, but show how the main character Jasmine deals with that. So, for example, I was once in a house where there was the lowest part, it was like a cellar there, but it was an apartment later on. So I had this peculiar dream about a woman that was tortured there and she died there, and unfortunately that soul was stuck, so she didn't know she was dead. It was very old soul, somewhere around, like a second war time, and certainly dressed differently. And it happens sometimes, maybe on those castles in England very often still, and people go there to search for souls, and instead of helping them, assist them to go through and make them aware, they just try to, make pictures and so on. So it happens that when the soul loses consciousness of what's happening, it's trapped and repeats the certain cycle, so it's dying many, many times. It's awful. It was one of the most awful meetings with the ghost, because I was feeling the pain of that woman, and she was dying, and in the same dream she was dying again, and then she was dying again. So that needs, of course, you need to get more information which are shown to you in the dream if you are dreaming about it. And according to that dream, you can see what is possible, if it's possible to communicate with that soul and grab the consciousness or the rest of the consciousness. You can talk to it directly in the dream or right after the dream and send the words to the space where you are, that she's already doesn't belong, she already died, she can go now, she's free. Because what that woman needed to hear, probably, it was this word. The words has this magical effect. You are free to go now. You don't have to repeat that. You can go. And of course the soul is a little bit in shock in the first moment. So this is what you can do. That's the first that's the one of the instructions, because there is no one really recipe. It's about approach, and it's about not exactly what you are doing, but it's about how you do it, like in everything else. So another one, when I was traveling for Germany sometimes and sleeping by a friend of a friend, so there was another house where in astral plane there was a family that was perfectly fine there. They were living there. They didn't need to be walk away from there and ward off or anything like that. It was a family with a son, and they were telling me what was going on in this family that was currently living there, and where is the problem, what is not working, and since I'm here, maybe I could do something about it, because that man didn't deal with mother, and that mother ghost is still around, and I could help the situation. And they were giving me exactly instructions. So the amazing part is that sometimes the ghost will give you exact instructions about somebody else of what to do. You just need to listen. So that's another example, what can be done in the situations like that, if we have the right attitude, the right kind of approach to the situation. There was another incident in Valencia where it was a beautiful hotel, everything was great, and first night I was feeling that hitting in my head of a little boy, and the boy was not really aware. It was a very young boy, and probably there was I heard like a bombing or something like that, so that probably historically you can relate to that a little bit. So the same story happened. I woke up, I talked to the space, and the boy was gone for the next nights where I was there. So I assume, of course, that everything turned out okay if you talk to the soul and find out the information, and then use the right wording, or sometimes it could be the right kind of questions to the soul. So one more time, to make it very, very clearly, not every soul needs to be walked through away, because sometimes they have also time on earth around 1 year to make sure that everything, every business they need to take care of is organized, and also say proper goodbyes to those here. Sometimes these are historical people who didn't have a proper ritual. Nobody knows them. Nobody could find them, and they are trapped in a way. They don't know they are dead, some of them. And it's good to do places, to do rituals of clearing up energy, prayers, saging, candles, putting a seeds with a new trees around in this area. I was talking mostly about ghosts, but there are 3 types of entities that for today, of course, there could be more, but the one type is the ghost, that people who are living here and they are transferring to another dimension. The second one is a little bit sort of like little energies, like a little unconscious being who are coming to people at night. They're sitting on the chairs, they're sucking energy, they look like a little dark animals. And in one of my paranormal stories, when I was creating a sort of a story with a conversation with the deaf told me that, oh, those I have a little knife, and I just treat them with the knife, because these have not really a consciousness. They just go into stuck. So you cut them off yourself. You need to protect your life force, life energy. These are not succubes, that's something else. But the feeling is pretty similar, but there's nothing sexual about them. So these are these kind of energies, more like very, very unconscious little dark beings. And the third one are those who are living on Earth. They are not visible by most of the people. In Ireland, you know, there are those fairies, elves, gnomes, trolls, whatever people are encountering there. And if you're building your new house and something doesn't go well, perhaps it's a good idea to communicate with, maybe you have a company there, so it's a good thing to communicate and put a little ritual there, some form of offerings or prayers, or just a conversation, normal conversation. Hey, we are going to be neighbors, is it okay for you, and how can we communicate, how can we relate one to another? So people who see those beings, they do that. And most of the stories like that I heard from Ireland. Some of the stories I read in Margaret Sandemo books, Ice People Saga, very nice stories, and I recommend the books very, very much. And I think that would be it for today. If I forgot like 90% of what I could tell you, that's okay. There will always be the next time for it. I hope you enjoy that. And of course, the rest is in my books. If you like to read some of the stories, let me know about it, or you can directly go to Amazon, and I pay attention that everything is there in all the forms, ebooks, and of course the print. But if you do read my book and you go through the stories, and you will be patient also enough that I am not a native speaker, so please pay attention to that. And I hope you are going to be very much interested in the stories, that some of it are based on my personal experiences. Then I would like you to let me know about it. I will appreciate that. And till the next time, thank you very much for the time you spent with me and for your great questions that I'm getting. And please share some of it under this video, not only in the email, if you are okay with that. Bye bye for today.